my life forever.
Welcome back to part 2 of ByuN vs. soO. The battle continues. The drama deepens. And the puns just get way worse. Thank you for watching. Good luck, have fun. I don't think you're going to survive either way. The correct answer, as we've already learned, was carrier. Well, that reminds me. Like, after Wings of Liberty, like, and ByuN and soO and everything, and Wings of Liberty, I was kind of fed up with the meta and the game in general. But thankfully, Heart of the Swarm rolled around. It made me care again. Game 4, Blackburn! ByuN of 3-1. I'm here all night. That's my normal schedule. Whoa! Has he seen it? Oh my god, he didn't see it. He's scouting for it. But he's somehow carved out every spot it isn't. Oh no. This is one of those, like, it's so obvious. Every Diamond Zerg would have scouted this, because they don't even know how to scout for proxies. Because they just send the Overlord across. But soO is trying so hard, ByuN has outmaneuvered him by just not hiding it at all. So an absolute genius move. If it works. Otherwise, just dumb and silly and gambly. He's up 3-1. It is a best of 9, which means you do have to win 5. Which is a little bit more than usual. Oh my god. soO has no idea. This is a disaster! Well, so there's enough gas for a factory back home. So how do you deal with this? This is about... It's about as bad as it gets. I would love to see... He actually cancels the Roach Horn. I think he's realized this is only 2 rags. He's building lings. I mean, the bunker is not cutting off the natural. It appears he's going to try to break it. He's running out of time to do so, though. Those Marines damage. Yes. Very nostalgic game. Well, the Lings are coming down the ramp. The Queens are showing up. That second bunker is going to make things infinitely more difficult. Oh, he's got the second SCV ready. The drones are pulled! Does he just target the drones? He's targeting the drones from the bunkers. And soO has lost 6 drones, but he kills all the Marines. Well... Huh. That is a lot of drones to lose. But he does keep the natural, and he has speed on the way. So. Huh. It's definitely not a decisive victory for soO. But keeping the natural, and I don't think he lost any queens. He lost no queens. Means inject is on the table. And with speed, he managed to scratch out speed. Hellions are not a huge threat, especially one at a time. He has enough lings already. He's making 4 overlords, which is actually quite inefficient. I think he was... Obviously, there's a lot going on. He does need to get those drones out. He will retake the worker lead, but mules do exist. ByuN didn't have an expansion. I'm starting to like... I think... That was about the edge of it. No queens lost, 6 drones. If he had lost 7 or 8, I don't know. He didn't, though. He got all the Marines. ByuN is severely delayed in his expansion for obvious reasons. He's now installing all his add-ons like he just decided on a new browser. And soO has bounced back. He's got a nice bruised hatchery as a prize. And also no creep to the main, Susan! How many times of all the games? Well, they don't have that much energy right now. Overlord hasn't made it all the way across, only to come in and die to a Viking. I think ByuN correctly assessing that it's unlikely there will be a follow-up here. So he can get away with a Viking. He cancels, the Banshee cancels Cloak in the most obvious possible manner. No, he killed the Overlord first. Like, this is the most predictable move, but soO wasn't there to see it, so he still has to keep guessing. Oh my god. It looks like, will the creeps touch? Is it your creep or is it my creep? It's our creep, comrade. Well, layer on the way. So the more time goes on, the better I think soO is off of this. I think the real key was the queens. Queens plus hatches equal plenty of larvae. And that's what's really allowed him to jumpstart his economy again. Queen's the real MVPs. Like, why? Why there? Just, what is up with soO? I don't understand it. Like, he could have easily put that creep tumor on the high ground, like, on the ramp even. But no. No. Oh my god. Look, he's done it. Wow. ByuN picks up with his first 2 Medivacs and heads... Oh, he's gonna do the nasty location. I'm pretty sure you can jam a tank right there, but only if you have a Medivac, or maybe behind the gases. Or he just goes for the main. The Bubula. Well, this is giving some real Wings of Liberty vibes so far. A 2 Medivac tank push without stim up against just a bunch of speedlings. I don't think he's built any Banes yet. Stim just finished. He uses it. The queens, there's not enough creep. Huh, I wonder how we could have fixed that. Just saying. The Marines holding their ground. soO struggling because there's no creep. I'm just saying. Hellions into the 3rd, and this is starting to become a lot worse than it ever should have been. Oh, wow, 11 drones. Well, this is getting so bad right now. This is exactly what ByuN needed, and soO should have been able to deal with this. This was... he lost the 2nd Medivac, but Marines are so good. They stim again! Go to rehab! No, we're not going home. Well, that was pretty devastating. This was exactly when soO should have been able to consolidate his economy, slam out like 70 drones, and then make sure ByuN never got map control. But instead, ByuN gets in with the least amount of... literally all he could. He sent every single unit he had across, in the Medivacs and the Hellions. And because soO, for some reason, doesn't creep in... It's one of my... I have many pet peeves. They grow over the years. They never go away, and you just keep adding to them. Every year, I enjoy Curb Your Enthusiasm more, which is not a good sign. Get off my lawn, you damn Marines! ByuN keeps dropping down his Viking as an anti-creep Viking, which I guess is something you can do. Why not? Meanwhile, the gold base, of course, those minerals. Marines can shoot over them. Zerglings cannot jump that high. I don't know why we even bother with the wings. A scan. Looking for tech. He actually scans the natural for tech. Oh my god, that creep tumor's blocking some drones. And those are Marines, bro. Oh, target 1, 2. Doesn't he correctly assesses he's not ready for the 3rd. Almost gets them all. And who knows how bad it gets then. What are the upgrades? 1-1. So ByuN has taken this kind of mediocre mid-game and carved it in typical ByuN manner into a strong mid-game. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4. There's not enough Marines to clean up the Zerglings, but the demoralization. He's not gonna miss. He's not missing today. This is peak ByuN right now, and I love to see it. He is not like the game he lost was he was warming up. I'm like, which one was it? Oh yeah, the first game. He just kind of didn't really do anything, and then soO ran him over. But ever since then, it feels like he's powering up. It's getting worse for soO every game. Even though the early game looked good, it's now very tenuous. Oh, he's about to botch this, I bet. Now that I've said it, I've cursed him. I've scrambled the timelines to curse him. Quick, somebody send that to the new Star Trek writers. Anyways. I get royalties. No, not queens. Shut up. Alright. Enough Ling Bane. It's kind of hard to tell. So, soO spent a lot of units on this. ByuN is, of course, microing 3 Marines around the mineral wall. 2-2's on the way for both sides. soO actually has a nice amount of drones, but not enough to compete. Everything's trending towards our Terran. soO is struggling to put enough on the field. He's not out of it yet, but the Baneling count has dwindled. The creep spread as well. soO's got one shot now. He's got one opportunity. Will he wait for 2-2, or will he bungle it? He's waiting for 2-2. He's setting up the flankiest flank you could ever flank. ByuN, pre-splitting. 2-2 is done. Now's the time. If we're gonna go, this is it. The tank using the Ultra on the spike as cover. Hydras, Lings, and Banes. Lings overrun the front. Medivacs pick up. Hydras pick one off. The tanks are not doing enough to stop the Banelings. soO runs the table and clears the field. And for now, will buy himself some space. That is what he needed. That was the least and best he could do. There was a pretty thin margin on that one. Hydra's now. The tank on the high ground probably going to have to turn around. Hydra's not as good at abusing the mineral walls. Is there a hive? No. I feel like that's been the answer every time I've checked this series. At least until far later. ByuN checks. Is there a hive? No. soO checks. Is there a hive? No. Starts the infestation pit. Here we are. ByuN settling in for the defense, realizing that soO is stuck on this mid-game army composition. ByuN, Banelings rolling around the corner. Tanks doing their part. Chunking up the Banelings. A few crash through. soO, he's backed up against his own. He lowers the depots. soO is overrunning the front. No more tanks, except at the gold. An orbital is vulnerable. Tank pops out in the middle of all this. The Hydra's, a single Baneling could turn the tides. Hydra's retreating. soO with another round. ByuN loses a lot, but soO loses more. He's lost 5,000 more minerals in this game. 3-3 on the way. Another round of Banes. The Ghost Academy just started. The tank count was reset. It's not over. But it's not great. Oh, some Overlords dying randomly does not help. But soO has managed to reestablish most of the map. Oh, come on with the Marine juggles. He's literally playing the hokey pokey on that mineral line. One Marine in, take one Marine out, put one Marine in, and micro medevac about. Well, these Hydras are super dead. That's not good. On the bright side, though, the Liberators at least will be scouted. Loses one. +1 range attack. Oh my god! Stop it! Somebody stop him. So here's the thing, though. Look at the army. Wait, why is his army supply so low? I'm sorry, I zoned out. Here's the thing. Refuses to elaborate further. ByuN doesn't actually... It feels like he should be maxed out here. But had some trouble recovering. And soO will bite off this base. There are ghosts on the way. Banelings goes in the distance. Picks up. He loves those Medivacs. Oh, the minerals! The minerals have been mined through, creating an awkward choke point for both sides. 15 SCVs die, leaving ByuN with a nice number left over. He picks up the Medivacs and heads to the north, which on this map is where players expand towards. Usually they expand towards each other, but on Blackburn, it's a little different. And that's why we see this map cut in half so often, as we're slowly working our way towards, but haven't gotten there yet. So far, soO has not really had his hive kick in. He's getting adrenal glands, +3 carapace, +2 ranged attack. No ultras, which I don't know if would be the greatest call. No lurkers, either. Honestly, Hydraling Bane, maybe with a few Vipers, is the best. Okay, ByuN wants to know what he's doing. He sees adrenal glands upgrading, and he sees nothing else. He's looking for the Ultra Cavern or the Lurker Den. That's what he's looking for right now. I mean, what are you gonna do, ByuN? Build ghosts? I don't... It's like, no, but if he goes Lurker Den, I'm going to build ghosts. But if he goes Ultras, I'll build ghosts. But if he makes Vipers, then I'll also build ghosts. All right, thank you, ByuN, for narrowing it down for us. I mean, knowing the timing of tech is very important, so you're not caught by surprise or out of position. It's not so much what he's going to build, as the unit composition is mostly set here. And this has ended up being a little bit more of a drawn-out ordeal. ByuN could not lay down the finishing blow, though he is now protecting the nature preserve that is the southern base. Oh wow, the Venn diagram of Liberators, the Banelings rolling through some decent tank shots, but the Ghosts are just auto-attacking. They might have to pick up and get out. No, the Banelings evaporate, and so does soO's supply. Wow. Well, that was not good. That was way too many tanks. That was bad. soO has now lost 10,000 more minerals. The gas is about equal, surprisingly. He's lost a lot of tanks, I guess. Yeah, 11 tanks down. 8 Medivacs. 500 Zerglings. Wow, this base is almost done. Crazy. Ghosts lining up. I want to see some Baneling snipes, okay? Some literal snipes. Get StarCraft Master. Few infestors on the way. We've been down this road before, soO. This time, no ultras, except for this one. Maybe this taught him his lesson. Well, Hydraling Bane. Quite a tank line, but most of it exposed. A potential to clear it out. A few great blinding clouds. The Vipers out of nowhere. The Ghosts unable to get anything. Find some snipes on the Hydras, but actually the tank count kind of reset and some Ghosts dying as well. So, a rough fight for soO, but the Vipers made it a lot closer. The Vipers resetting the tanks and helping to kill the Ghosts. Meanwhile, the Banelings targeted a tank, taken for free. This base of the Queens gonna try to help. Oh, this is awkward. Oh no, the Vipers. The Vipers! soO! Oh, nobody's really... This is the real battle. Everybody notices at the same time. As the fight up here... Oh my god, that hatchery. Just a strong gust of wind would take it out. Snipes on the Hydras. Cloaks. soO struggling yet again. ByuN starting to reassert himself. Assert. The banelings get a few ghosts. soO struggling to put enough on the field to actually call an army. It's looking quite tough for our Zerg hero. Got caught on it. Honestly, the drop in the main. Not to be a bit of... let me put on my angry coach pantaloons for a moment and say, we gotta get the creep in the main, soO. Especially on Blackburn. Come on! Like, 2 Medivacs without the stim should not do nearly that much. Well, I have no... soO is building nothing but a hatchery, so that's not much. 26 more Zerglings. The economies, well, that tells the story pretty well. ByuN back in the lead. It kind of just ends. Well. soO's just like, well, Zerglings don't feel like the unit I need right now. And I'd agree with him. 4-1 ByuN. soO, all he has to do is win 4 games in a row. Easy peasy. Jimmy! I do respect soO's attempts here. The thing is, with what soO is doing, it feels like we've kind of just reached a point in StarCraft 2 where people don't die to that style anymore. Like, in a relatively even game, most top Terrans are not going to get run over. They've just gotten too good with the Ghosts and the Marines and the tanks. And those are units that benefit a lot more from micro than things like banelings. Before, many moons ago, many years, we hadn't quite, like, it feels like people were so good back in the day, but they just keep getting better. And the effectiveness of a unit like a baneling or a Zergling doesn't really have... There's a reason when you look at those AI scripts and stuff like that, when you just unleash them. Did you know that 25 Marines can counter 99 banelings? And it only takes about 20,000 actions per minute. Fun fact. If you're individually stutter stepping and target firing each Marine in separate directions, it's easy peasy. So we're not there. Or I don't know if ByuN's wrists are quite ready for that, but we do draw a little bit closer every year. And like, there's only so much baneling micro you can do, which is why a lot of Zergs have tended towards the more spellcaster heavy compositions, because that is something that still is not completely, I would say not completely figured out. It takes a lot to handle Vipers and Infestors and Lings and Banes and Hydras and Queens. But Serral's preferred style, and we're going to keep coming back to that Finn man, is the ultra late game Infestor, Viper, Lurker, Broodlord. Yeah, it's exhausting just to say, let alone play. But it is the best way to efficiently compete. Maybe not reliably, but efficiently compete with that late game Terran. it is a little map dependent as well. Like, the more open the map, the more likely you are able to utilize that Hydraling Bane. The middle of Blackburn, you notice when soO pushed back, it was those open field fights. But Blackburn does boil down to one side or the other. And bridging that gap is very difficult with the ground units. It's not like it wasn't close. But eventually, at some point, you run out of steam. Why are there 4 Marines? Okay, I haven't paid any attention. You what? You can't come in here. You can't come in my house and kill my OVs? What? ByuN just walks up. He goes Marines. It looks like it was a CC first. I think. I'm not 100%. I don't know. I'm starting to zone out. Pull it together! These two have been playing. All I've been doing is yelling. I was too busy chastising soO for playing fun units, as opposed to sitting there with purple bars that get EMP'd. Well, oh, the creep tumor helping to block there. I don't think he would have tried to go by. ByuN has tried to run by a few times, to limited success. Besides last game, which ended up being amazing because soO was so... Okay. Alright, soO, you have plenty of energy. You have plenty of queens. soO. Please. For me, before a Hellbat attack actually works, put 1 creep tumor in a normal spot in the main. Come on. Just 1. No. No. He'll never drop the main. It's ByuN! That's all he does. That's his signature move. That's his ultimate. Speaking of, here's 2 Medivacs with Stim Marines. This is just this is just ByuN's auto attack. All right? This he does all day. It's only when he combines the auto attack into the Hellbat main combo that things get dangerous. So there are Hellbats, Stim Marines. Are there any Banes? Not at the moment. I don't know, those drones getting involved. This isn't looking great. There's just not, like, having any Banelings is very important here. Oh, soO. The Hellbats distracting things. Queen's getting murdered. So far, the drones haven't felt too much. They only lost 3. So, like... it's getting awkward. I mean, it's been awkward ever since there were no Banelings. Banelings? Will he get the target? The drones kinda... Nope. Oh, 2 more Banes. Does he just lose? Oh my god! Proving that ByuN is not indeed an artificial intelligence, just a mere man. All it takes is 1. It's the 26th Baneling that really ruins those Marines. Or 100th Baneling, rather. Oh my god, ByuN. He's ascended. He's repairing his Medivacs. Finally, the technology to repair Medivacs has been invented. I thought it didn't exist. I think for 12 years, Terrans have done without repairing their Medivacs. It's something we've whispered of in the chats. Why don't they repair their Medivacs? Because it's hard, bro. If you right-click, it doesn't work because they just load the SCVs in the Medivac, so it's so much work. You have to actually click the repair button, and then, like, I don't... So, no. Well... Meanwhile, ByuN, his professional macro allowing him to unlock a 4th base. He totally wasn't so busy microing he banked up enough for a 4th command center. This was totally planned. And it's gonna work out. In fact, he does have plenty of minerals at the moment. All the upgrades coming together. ByuN has a slight lead yet again. Honestly, soO has been struggling. He's been winning with the broad strokes. The larger attacks... Oh my god, that positioning on the tank. The larger attacks and timings have gone soO's way. But ByuN is a details guy. Almost to a fault. And, well, so far it's paid off. I love the sensor tower. I keep saying it, I keep pointing it out, but sensor towers have cropped up much more often in the last year or two than in the decade before. It's really not that expensive. For the, like, having 3 extra seconds to siege your tanks and split your marines, that is 3 more seconds than ByuN needs. So having any extra... Oh my god! It's so casual! He didn't even look like he was looking! I just... 1, 2. Easy peasy. Well, ByuN starts 2-2. In fact, he lost track of it a little. It was 2-2 a little later than soO. soO's bounced back. He's held the line. Hellbat attacks do suffer from being mediocre. ByuN will sometimes throw them in, though that Hellbat Marine attack much better than just the Hellbats themselves. If soO had any warning, it could have easily just been crushed, but sometimes you play with fire, you get burned. Not this time. Actually, that's the second time this game. He's been a little bit too fancy. And once again, a single Bane makes all the difference. It's usually just that one Bane against players like ByuN. You just don't... Oh my god. 5 Banes, no problem. 1 Bane, uh-oh. Well, left and right. He's got the lanes covered. soO... I mean, at this point, we can just play this game. Well, Medivacs. I say that, but then soO overruns the field. ByuN is still at 180 supply. Like, he didn't really lose much there. He's already replaced the things he was losing. And gained more. More commands. So, like, this is a ladder game for ByuN right now. God. He's getting more confident with each game, for better or worse. Like, he's 2 more commands, so he's got 8 barracks in his main. 4th base done. It is just 1-1 against +2/+1. Okay, there are Widow Mines here, so. soO probably will have to give up this base. He's gonna deal with these Marines. ByuN still has quite a hefty amount of units here. You gotta be a little careful. The Broodling's providing some cover. ByuN... Oh, let's go to the ByuN action cam. He's feeling it right now. Let's just take a look. I forgot to do this in the earlier games, but this is the Terran every Terran wants to be. This is the Terran they tell you not to in every guide. Alright, right side, pulls back, next base, planetary, sensor tower, transfers out, Marines on the right, Medivac into the main. Scout sees no hive. Widow Mine still intact, starts the orbitals, works on the right, no creep there. Meanwhile, another Medivac sent toward the left. Few Banelings, handle it, no problem. Few Hydras, handle it. Widow Mine's gonna burrow, but free spreading them. Still looking for more, concentrating on the fight. Juggling production. Backing off. There's another drop on the left side. Oh, the Widow Mine's getting such juicy connections. ByuN focusing on this. He's still building units throughout it. Checks over to the left. Successfully draw units out of position, but he did lose everything, so he was focused on this fight. soO holds, but at what cost? ByuN's like, oh yeah, my base. A bit of tunnel vision there, but honestly a winning fight. Cloak on the way. Turrets towards the main. Why not? Spend that money. Make it look good.
Mineral field research.
Meanwhile, on the other side, soO. Setting up here another round of Widow Mines. Microing back, trying to deal with it. Another set. Takes a bunch of damage. The drop, the attack on the right side not being handled. A handful of Zerglings making their way through. Banelings trying to roll by into the Ghost. Splitting Banelings. Oh, he completely missed the right side attack. I don't know what's going into the main. Those are changelings. Oh, I thought it was much more dramatic. This is a gut punch. soO. Well, he killed a base, and ByuN... GG! ByuN takes it. And with that, I mention something I realized a few games in, which is, it's each game is played, and you get a bounty for each game. I'm not sure if there's an extra bounty, but with these matches, each game is played. So, spoilers, we have 9 games. ByuN may win the rest as well. But they include Frost King Sejong Station. I actually wasn't sure, but you know what we get? More ByuN versus soO. More ByuN being like 3% better than soO. We're gonna continue just racking up the numbers. But no longer best of. I do like the all matches played, because that does mean you'll get, like, players won't try to game it as much. I know, that sounds silly, but when you want to showcase 2 players, and who wouldn't want to? Well, in my defense, Jimmy did not tell me this beforehand. He really dropped the ball. He could not comprehend the idea of just playing one match at a time. It takes a very high IQ to understand that sometimes you just play each match. ByuN, he did his 1 proxy Rex, which was the most seesaw of games. And now, like, he just keeps getting greedier. Command center first. He's like, how many command centers can I build before I need units? Last game, he was really testing it. Go build it at the 3rd. Okay, he's gonna SCV scan. I'm sure there's a prize for each match, so gotta rack up those winnings. Double gas. Double gas. Could still be the Marine timing. I wouldn't try the command center first at home, my diamond friends. We're just the life of an SCV. This will be the most exciting part of his life. The rest of life is mining minerals, potentially running away from Zerglings, building things that for some reason cannot be automated. He explored the world. A barren wasteland filled with Zerg. But still, he traveled. And now he's expected to go back to just mining minerals all day? Are you kidding me? Yes. What do I do? You mine minerals. Oh my god. Zergling speed on the way. I'll admit, this is the most boring start so far. We're seeing another. Can we hit the? No, we're not speeding up. We got to get the details. All right. We'll watch how ByuN sets it up. Very important to spam those hotkeys. Write that down, Terrans. Do some barracks push-ups. He lifted the barracks off, landed it, decided against it, or saw something, though he didn't scout anything at that time. Landed it right back on the tower. Like, gotta raise that APM. The details that we miss when we're too busy casting like a normie. Viking on the way. This is the most cookie cutter. Adds a reactor. I wonder if we'll see a mech game. I doubt it. It's ByuN. He's barely bio-curious, let alone a mech player. Building a bunch of tanks is as close as we get. A lot of tanks in this series. He favors the tanks until Widow Mines are required. The sounds of Zerg. Have you ever played? Go to moansofzerg.com or watch my video and see how many Zerg moans you can name. It's harder than you'd think. You think you know all the moans Zerg make, but so many of them, so subtle differences. Surprise yourself. The Queen is not so. The Queen is very recognizable. No, that wasn't a joke. Just try. It's a real thing. It was not. It's worth. I haven't yet done the Terran and Protoss challenge, but that does seem significantly easier than Zerg. Zerg don't make quite the same mouth sounds. Like, wow, the Protoss do? They think the sounds into your head, so at least they make sense. The Zerg have no such preconceptions. Or evolved parts. The Hellions. Oh my god, he used the AoE without detection to kill the tumor. Oncologist ByuN, using all his tricks to get rid of those tumors. Alright, ask your doctor if ByuN is right for you. Probably not. Is that 3 tanks? Of course. And in order to hit that timing a little sharper, boost them out of the base. Does he have an armory? No hellbats, but it's a pretty nasty position here. ByuN has stopped building SCVs at around the 2-base saturation. He's gonna try to drop out those tanks. Here come the Banelings. Wait, where's the Baneling speed? Oh my god! Did he forget Bane speed? Well, Brenda! Get some Medivac. This actually went kind of horribly. There were plenty of queens here. ByuN tried a tank timing. It's getting a little more strung out. Yeah, that didn't go great. They kind of just slapped the tanks down right on the creep. ByuN feeling like, well, I got my win. soO, not done yet. He's trying to get as much of a paycheck as he can. The queens shutting this all down. They work hard. They rarely get rewarded for it. How about that creep to the main, soO? Ah! Where's the Bane speed? soO finally asked himself. I can't believe, like, I think they're getting tired. I'm getting tired. I think he's getting tired. Like, it's already been a 2-hour series against ByuN, who, like, you literally can never look away, because then the Marines will kill everything. To not start Bane speed the second you notice, that is an amateur mistake there. So many games are won or lost based on the timing of Bane speed, especially these quick tank and Marine pushes. But apparently, I'm an idiot. I don't know anything, because ByuN was all in. He was building a third, but soO had regained momentum. So, I guess I had defaulted to soO is struggling, and didn't really acknowledge how ByuN never had nearly as much army supply from the very start, and had lost all his momentum with the first tanks. Honestly, though, a bit of a freebie. It feels like ByuN's like, all right, here's another one. We'll pull this build out. Haven't taken it out of the shop in a while. Speaking of not taking things out of the shop in a while, the next game is on Frost. Dust this one off. Welcome back to the Legacy of the Void edition. This map is so old they had to say which expansion it was in. Ah, yes, the winter map. It's been a while. 4-player maps. Ever since Protoss whined enough to get them kicked out of the map pool, because, of course, as a Protoss, it is kind of horrible and RNG dependent to play a 4-player map. It's not particularly great for planning for anyone, but Protoss definitely struggle the most. There are no Protoss here, thankfully. But here we are, and this is the most nostalgia. I'm just going to do the full introduction, because I think we need to get the full nostalgia trip. In the bottom right of Frost, the second place player in your hearts, the GSL and WCS. The runner-up in this match so far, I give you the Korean Zerg, soO. And looking to get Reapers nerfed one more time and be forced back into microing his Marines. Will he be able to take home another World Championship? Shopify Rebellions. Oh, Shopify sponsoring people now. Oh, interesting. Before their time. I don't know if Shopify exists in the year we're pretending to be in. Anyways, it is ByuN. Oh, a pool first. Very standard. No. It has never been a standard. At least not since like 2012. soO with pool and speed first. He's gambling. Pool, he's gambling right now. He's gambling he doesn't get scouted early. Ah, yes. 4-player maps. Because if he does get scouted early enough, and this, well, those Zerglings should not be out yet. They are quite early here. He's making a Marine. And now he knows where soO spawned. Honestly, so here's what I've been thinking about it since this isn't gonna end this moment. I'm thinking this will be a 2-part upload on YouTube. I know we're all watching live, but YouTube, leave some comments. Starting with the ad break as the second part. Because 3 hours, well, we're only at 2 hours, okay, but who knows? It's Frost. I think it works for these longer series as 2 parts. Because I'm struggling to watch this all in one sitting. Well, now there are Zerglings in the base. If he had 10 more Zerglings, like, ByuN just didn't have a wall. He just let them in. but there weren't enough Zerglings to really matter. So here we are. soO with kind of an awkward pool first. ByuN, kind of doing some throwbacks here. Oh, expanding to this base. There's going to be a lot of that. Oh my god. The deja vu is so... Like, it's like very old deja vu. You're like, did that really happen? Or am I just remembering the idea of it happening? It's been so long. Zerglings into the natural. The Hellions obviously on the other side. There's a lot of map to run around. More Zerglings. Yeah, I mean, they drag the units back. And we get 5 SCV kills. You can feel, even though we're not even in cross positions, the sheer size of this map. Just, that is another part about 4-player maps that does leave a lot. Well, honestly, usually favors the Zerg, who wants as much time as possible to react to any sort of attack, so that isn't always the case. Especially, for example, late game against Protoss, where Warp Gate and Warp-ins become a factor, and the Protoss can teleport an army, and your army's in the middle of the map. Once again, no Protoss here. So, I would love to see a drawn-out game. And so far, ByuN with the Cloaked Banshees, gonna run right into an Overseer, but might be able to kill the Queen. Microing back a little... Ah! We should really nerf that Queen range, I think. Those Banshees almost died. I guess he won't get walled in there. Tanks on the way. +1 attack. 11 more drones coming out. soO not taking any chances on Banes. Susan! Where is the creep to the main? Are you kidding me? What is this? What religion bans creeping to the main? It's like, we can creep everywhere but the main. Alright? We don't creep there on Sundays. It's like, I think... Okay. But we can use the Overlords, that's fine. It's like, we can only drink 1 beer per day, so we're going to make it a gallon. Ah, yes. This does not ruin the whole spirit of the thing at all. I see you are truly zealots, despite the lack of Protoss. Well, the Queens, there's a tank at the Watchtower. Oh my. The double whammy. And this is why we don't put Watchtowers in the center of the map anymore. Or at least we don't put them in a way that they can't easily be overtaken. Because eventually we realized that siege tanks were pretty good. But a relic of an earlier time. ByuN 2 Banshees. He repaired them, he sent them back out. He's got a 3rd CC on the way. It kind of feels like neither player can really meaningfully attack. soO has to... He's splitting off a few Queens. These Banshees are doing way more than they ever should. Like, the amount of Queens that have been dragged back. Lings at the natural, bit of an awkward wall off. The tank on the high ground. I think soO's just feeling lucky he didn't get hit by the tank immediately. Now the Banshees rallied. ByuN not microing, loses 1. Lings setting up for a potential surround. He knows that tank is still out there. Wow, these Banshees are doing a lot of damage. I thought it was a lot. It's 8 kills. It feels like a lot more. But look at it. It's so annoying. Like, you gotta factor in the annoyance multiplier. Oh, and it gets away! Oh, at least a 25% annoyance. So I'm gonna call that... It felt like 12 drones. It's like wind chill. Okay? It felt like 12 drones. It was only 8 drones. But definitely felt like at least 12. Well, Marine stimming forward. The Queen Moot, ready to hold the line. There are now 2 tanks. A bunch of Hellions at the watchtower. The bottom lane being overrun. Well, there's nothing to overrun, but it's filled with Zerglings and Banelings. 2 Medivacs. soO. You gotta creep the main! And there's that one Overlord of creep. The Queens are holding the front. soO's very aware. It's 1-1 against just +1 for ByuN. soO has the advantage. Marine slammed by Banelings. ByuN looking away that time. The transfuse is topping up. A lot of energy drained, but the Queen's still intact, and will push back in the center. Softened up everything. My Queens will go back to the creep. Every time. 4th base on the way. Or 4th base done. Hatchery completed. In kind of a precarious position if ByuN ever gets tanks up there, but now soO has 64 drones. Spire is about to complete. He lost the spawning pool, which is better than losing drones, which is part of why we put it at the corner there. Just got to remember to replace it in time. Double medevac drop. Oh my god, the deja vu is so hard. Oh, I think this map is where ByuN really showed off the 2-1-1 build to start. I forget who he was playing. Non-zero chance it was soO. But he just kind of showed this clean 2-1-1 and microed perfectly. And now Diamond Terrans have been doing that build for the last half a decade. Unfortunately, this game, though, soO has shut down enough. Bermuda's showing up. The tanks. Tanks are going to make things a lot more difficult here. soO actually doesn't have any other bases. He started the hatch to the north. But this is his only 4th at the moment. Running the Zerglings around. He's going to give up this position. There's a lot of area to manage here. The Banshee! Sorry. Runs out of cloak and dies. Work done. Can go no further. Adding more. Oh, the tank shots onto the Banes. Oh, trying to box out the tanks. I can't tell. This choke point is definitely favoring ByuN. I take it back. soO just fought into a tank line. A tank line that was choking off Banelings from connecting with Marines. He actually hit the stim button twice here, but Queens and Mutas are not well known for their ability to deal with mass Marines. He's tearing through everything ByuN. Terran! Oh, run away! Kill the Banelings! Ah! Terran! GG. ByuN takes the 6th game. Really working that high ground. It looks like soO might take map control, but not respecting the tank position or the medevacs. And ByuN puts another one on the board. And that will be 6. Now, it's the last chance for soO. Each game counts, but... It's been a rough series for soO, I will say. He's played well. I don't think he's played poorly. It's just his style does feel more dated. It feels like that's just not how we play Zerg anymore. We've played Terran the same way for like 15 years. And yes, I know what I said, so Terrans don't really have to change. So we're going to the Pro League version. AKA the I can't see anything because it's all so bright. Like we're on the damn moon of King Sejong. Maybe King Sejong Station is on the moon. You don't know. Have you been there? Well, welcome to King Sejong Station. Is ByuN? I remember one of the most exciting... In fact, if you're listening now, you're still awake. And you're so inclined, it'd be awesome if you could pause and watch my cast of ByuN vs. Dark on King Sejong Station in, I believe, 2016. Before you watch this game. Or after. Because this was one of the most exciting StarCraft 2 games of all time. The BlizzCon finals, the World Championship finals, is when it was played. He's actually proxying a Reaper on the low ground, and that may have been how it started there too. Ah yes, the memories. I mean, I'm glad this map no longer is in the map pool. Very glad. The nostalgia is not worth the struggle at all. But maybe for a show match in Game 9 after ByuN is already up 7-2, why not? And then be like, Winter, wow, you got way worse at casting. I'm not fishing for compliments at all. But yeah, I am 98% sure I did cast that series, as it was already when we were doing it. Wait. Oh, wait. ByuN got... Oh, I'm sorry. Spoilers. I have no idea, actually. Anybody's game. The Reaper? Oh, come on, ByuN. Ah, nightmares. The Reaper gets in so quick. So much quicker. The employee entrance there, designed just for Reapers explicitly. Oh my. So annoying. Oh my god, 2 drones. No, 3! Oh, another Reaper. Oh. It's... And maybe because of the map layout. But either way, soO is for the first time forced to build a creep tumor in his main. ByuN finishes his command center with a full second to spare. A whole lot of Zerglings heading across. Wow, maps were so... Like, there's nothing going on. I don't know, it's kind of like it feels so nostalgic, partially because map makers have gotten so good at making the maps look amazing. Like, what is this? It's just like a barren field of snow with some, like, rocks. Literally, rocks that essentially decide the game. There's so much detail in the maps now. 2 Reapers against Speedlings, though. There's no Hellions. He went straight for the reactor, and it's going to cost him all the SCVs at the natural. That evens out the Reaper damage to some extent. Of course, killing drones that early is more impactful than killing SCVs a little later, but nice to get anything here for soO. They're on the way. Well, that's a pretty quick lair, actually. At some point, you just go into autopilot. Like, look, the production tab. Whenever you need to say something, just look to the production tab. That's my pro caster tip. Make sure to use... I'm not sure what the YouTube join thing is, but subscribe for more pro caster tips, and you can check out my monthly seminar for only $500. Comes with free refreshments of your brain, because it will expand. Like ByuN. Who has his third? Look at the production tab. It's not there. That was a test. He already finished it. Well. Should have come to the seminar. Spire on the way. That's a lot of Hellions and not a lot of Queens. I'm surprised ByuN didn't just go for it. I do. This is something I could see happening more often. This little detail. The Viking into patrolling one of the lanes of creep. Especially on this map where you can't really get to that area. But it is a cute and repeatable move. Because almost no players have overlords that far out on the map because they know a Viking or anything else. Like, usually you have one, maybe two overlords until, like, an overseer. So the Viking, at some point, loses value shooting air things and just becomes patrolling the borders. Well, he doesn't, like... soO is like, are you going with 2 Medivacs of Marines? ByuN's like... yes. Wow. What a crazy concept. And now we're gonna figure out why we don't like this map. As a Zerg player. This kind of flies into the natural, which is just there. Pulls back. Scan. Yep. Mutas. The Spire is already done, so there's got to be a bit of a scramble here. Wait, does he have an engineering bay? He has 2. Upgrading 1-1. Another test. You got to keep up. Evolution chambers a little later on, as soO was angling for the Spire. Nearly from the... Are you crazy? You're gonna... Well, he's gonna expand. Where else are you gonna... There's really not that many bases on the map. Where else are you gonna go? Viking succeeding. Continues. Now, some mutas will kill the landed Viking. Mildly ironic. ByuN micros it slightly because, of course, he does. Baneling speed is done. 1-1 will finish way earlier for ByuN, but the mutas are everything. The mutas are needed to keep ByuN back as far as possible. To kill the Medivacs. To make it difficult for ByuN to do anything but group up all his units. And make them more vulnerable to wings and bends. Combat shield finishing up. I kind of like, it feels like both these players are kind of exhausted. Like, alright, okay. Even ByuN here isn't microing individual Medivacs like he did his Reaper thing. It's been an exhausting series. Now the upgrades are fully in swing. ByuN has his second factory and more racks on the way. He's got his Medivacs coming up. Another Medivac headed over to the left side. There's a nice high ground lane here as well. Wow, we really liked having those. Terrans loved it. Especially when tanks could fly. Now this is gonna make things awkward. That single Medivac drop, but both sides getting hit right now. We don't mind barely avoiding. A handful of drones down. Zerglings rallied in. The Marines gun them down. ByuN pulls onto the map as units are dragged off. There are the destructible rocks here, which drop a set of rocks that need to be destroyed and also can potentially kill units, though they have a tendency to kind of get pushed off to the side. Killing a group of Banelings or Marines with that would definitely be helpful. That's a lot of mines. He's trying, yeah, he's got enough mutas. Nicely done. Picking them off one at a time. Forces Marines back, using the map against ByuN. The turret, the TPM continues to raise. He's just... Man, soO getting quite a quick infestation pit this time around. The thing is, there's just not enough area for the Marines to shoot from. They literally don't have enough space. 3-3 has started for ByuN. He's got the composition. We're maxed out. 2-2 against 1-1, but soO has a lot of mutas and map control. Banelings bust in. The Hellbats just kind of sit there and die, which is probably their best use. Another base taken by soO to the north. We're at full economies here. soO with a slight income advantage, but negligible. Mostly in gas. And at this stage of the game, very important for Zerg to keep up on that. Zerglings are all well and good, but not so much against Widow Mines and Marines. Muta's heading towards the main, but ByuN covering all his bases in every way possible. Crashes through. ByuN gonna show off the rocks. One Hellbat left behind. Muta's headed towards the main. The armory is vulnerable, which, quite a nice pickup if you can get it. The Overseer back there as well. soO, wow. This is in sensor tower range for ByuN. But it only shows up as a dot. He doesn't actually know what it is. Could be a Zergling. It's not a Zergling. Well, here comes ByuN, pressing forward. The Widow Mine spread. Banelings looking for anything useful to hit without wasting too many. Muta's rejoining with the main force as ByuN starting to press the issue. Those rocks still looking very dicey. Banelings crashing in. Down goes one Thor. Another one picked up but over the high ground. Knocked down before it can unload. Another big pickup as soO battling, at least to preserve his pride and a bit of his pocketbook. Another Thor. The Muta's overrunning. There's no more anti-air. The Marines nowhere to be seen. Late to the party. And it's already over. soO actually finishes the base on ByuN's side of the map. ByuN down to 180 supply. It was 160, and that sounded more dramatic, but then he pressed his production buttons. The Ultraless Cavern. soO showing that cavern again. Medivac figured this out. +3 is done. There's a couple-minute window now, with ByuN having an upgrade advantage and being maxed out with the best Terran army he can build before Hive Tech kicks in. So, even though soO has taken some good fights, he hasn't actually killed a base or slowed down production. So now is the time to do that. Oh my god, that Widow Mine. Well, that wasn't great. I didn't see the Widow Mine. It's pretty clear soO didn't. Until it fired. And that took quite a chunk. Well, soO is remaxed. The Thor kind of out on its own. Takes a bit of damage here. More Thors. Queen's looking for creeplings and Banes. Trap a Marauder. Marauder's looking for an opportunity. Hasn't taken down these rocks yet. That could still be a sticking point. More Lings and Banes trying to draw the Widow Mines, but the Marauder line... Oh, wow. Very lucky on that one. Medivac drop gonna deal with this. There's no amount of static defense to stop those 3-3 Marines. Wait, will somebody take down the rock tower already? Stop teasing me. Wait, can you actually land back there? I believe you can, but I'm... Oh, wait, those are actual... They're ice. They're destructible ice. Bring some Hellbats. They don't get a bonus. They should. Well, Mutas. That is just Marines. Ultra's on the way. And Ultra risk against this. The Queens! He's dropping on the high ground! And he traps in his own unit, so I'm not entirely convinced. He may start to filter some units up there. Well, that was definitely an idea. Maybe not exactly perfect execution from ByuN. soO still trying to go through the rocks. I don't know how many units he's lost trying to go through those rocks, but here are the Ultras. Paperlisks right now. Oh no. Widow Mine connects. The Ghosts are already in production. More command centers. Another set of mines, but the Banelings are also connecting. Explosive damage across the field. Ultras cover. A lot of Banelings into the planetary. 2 command centers about to finish, but not quite there. The Muta's still intact. 14 of them. The Ultras will be pushed back, and there are no ghosts right now. One command center actually finished and will be immediately replanted right next to this. So a decent fight for soO. ByuN knocked down in supply. Lings, Banes, Ultralisks, Lists, and Lings are the order of the day, and the only order of the day for soO. More Banelings. Ultras. No! Ah, yes, a very nostalgic mistake there. Right-clicking on the rocks with the Banelings. Only a few, but still, an embarrassing amount. Oh, that's definitely a pretty costly oopsie there. It was only like 5 of them, but the fact it happened at all. soO's lost 4,000 more minerals. Lost almost 2k more gas. Not a particularly meaningful amount. We'll have to check the numbers after this fight. The Banelings trickling through, splitting off small amounts to try to draw the Widow Mines. Snipes across the board. The Terran army is so beefy. Gets the planetary, snipes the Ultras. But objective accomplished. A planetary once again. soO is playing that swarm Zerg, where he refuses to play the end game, and he's gonna beat him with an economic hammer. He doesn't, no matter the cost, he will continue to bludgeon, and we'll see if ByuN gets beat down, or if he breaks out. A little bit of Minecraft action. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh. That's almost as bad as the rocks. And Widow Mines all over the field. ByuN stepping forward. Ultralift will cause him to rethink that decision. ByuN gonna take down this hatch yet again. ByuN hasn't been able to establish that base. There are no more bases, by the way. That's it. There's really not that many. Oh, the Thor's doing a lot of damage to the Mutas, but the Thors themselves being taken down. Banelings closing in. The minefield is ridiculous. This is an orbital here. ByuN holds. The snipes come out and pop an Ultra. soO working off of one more base. And if he's not able to keep ByuN off of that right side, let alone take it, eventually, again, we will see ByuN being more and more cost effective. The disparity is growing. Can you tell when the mules drop? The bases are starting to mine out. ByuN is entirely mined out of his main. His natural, just mined out of gas. Minerals are close behind. ByuN. A single... Wait, what? What did you see? Already select all armied. Oh, he's getting there. We're getting to that stage. Because boosted in and then hit the panic button. That Medivac could have done a lot of damage on the base, but instead, kind of wandering through. Lucky he didn't outright die. The Queen's trying to fix that. Somehow makes it home. And then gets sent out again. World Tour. Who's sending the orders out here? Oh no, the snipes. You can't even get close. You cannot turn your back. At some point you might... It's just better to fight. The snipes go off. soO doesn't have too many more Ultras to lose. He has one. That Medivac has made the whole... Oh, it went off the map. And it's back. Where it started. It made the full 360. Ah! I'll get him on the next round. The fungal doesn't quite find the mark. EMPs will prevent any more. More snipes. Ultra at 0 HP. Finished off. Banelings closing in. Medivac, mutas. The ghost just doing too much. Another base down, and soO is out of... well, he has plenty of gas, but he's out of minerals. And right now, ByuN is still holding. He's running out of minerals himself, so it's not time to tap out quite yet, I don't think. But ByuN only has so many mineral patches. Oh god, the snipes are so good. He's lost 10,000 more. Okay. The ghosts are just holding the line too far forward. Another drop. Maybe not the time to return to mining here. The last gasp. Ultras sniped. Not finished. Fungal. No energy. Widow Mines dragged out. This base died. Widow Mines. At this point, soO's trying to use Widow Mines, which is his best bet. Oh, the Widow Mine killed the Ultra. Is there even detection here? EMP, snipes. This Medivac is killing the transferring drones. soO, an insanely hard-fought battle. An uphill one. But it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. ByuN has evolved. And soO still has some catching up to do. Thank you to Alphax for putting this match on. The nostalgia is insane. But at the end of the day, ByuN proves he is the better player in exhaustive fashion. He takes 7 out of 9. Honestly, and soO's wins, not particularly decisive either. I guess the first game, the warm-up game. But though, I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you for watching with me. Both parts. We thought it was a best of 9 into the, wow, we're going to the nostalgia trip phase. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, check out all the videos. Thank you for making it this far. And I hope to see you a little further on the other side. Good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay chill.